Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the session today. Hope you guys are doing good. Let us start the session. Okay. So, if you remember, yesterday we were discussing about how to create a Google Cloud storage bucket.
Recording in progress.
Right. So, let us pick it from there. Okay, let me click on create storage bucket. So we should first give a proper name to the bucket, guys. So I'm gonna give a name like this. Storage bucket. That's 10. Okay, so this is the name that I have given, and that name is available. This is where we have to select a proper location. We now know that there are three types of locations. One is region, dual region, and multi-region. There is no replication in the region. There will be replication in the dual region to the across two regions, and in a multi-region there will be a replication in multiple regions, and which is having a high availability, sir. In multi-regions, you will be having a high availability, guys. So that is also we can see. Okay, so I am for now the location type I am selecting as a multi-region and clicking on continue, and here we have to select a proper storage class. There are 4 storage classes you can see here, guys. Okay, so one is standard, nearline, cold line, and archive. We now know how to select a proper storage class also. We have seen yesterday, right? So this is what it is. So if you are accessing the file frequently, then you can go for the standard. If you wanted to access a file once in a month, you can go for the nearline, and once in a quarter for cold line, once in a year for the archive. And the cost, and there are 2 costs associated for the each service, right? For this one, there will be a transactional cost, there will be a storage cost. Transactional cost will be very high for the archival storage class, and storage cost will be very high for the standard storage cost. Why? It is because if you wanted to frequently access the data to be highly available, that is the reason the storage cost will be very high. Likewise, if you are accessing once in a year, the data has to be available once in a year. So that is when that is the reason the storage cost is less. But when you are retrieving the data, so the data transaction cost will be very high. So this is the main difference between the storage classes. So we now know how to select a proper storage class as well. So for now I am selecting a standard, guys, because I wanted to create this bucket for what purpose? Frequently accessed data. So that is the reason I am selecting this. Okay, I am clicking on continue, and this is where we are. This is the place where we are controlling the data inside the buckets, right? When you create a bucket, so you are going to upload some objects inside it. So how to control the access to those objects? This is where we are defining that. So there are 2 things. One is access control with the help of the uniform, access control fine grained. Uniform means there will be a uniform access to all the buckets, uniform access to all the objects inside a bucket, and fine grained access to each object inside a bucket. Okay, so uniform means access at rate bucket level that will be achieved with help of the IAM, identity access management. And one more thing is access at rate object level. Each object you are going to provide access that can be achieved with the help of the IAM plus ACLS, nothing but the access control list. Okay, so this is what one more thing. So I'm going to select find grained now. Okay, click on continue. So the final step is Object versioning or retention policy. What is this one, sir? Now I want you to understand. Okay, very simple again. Object versioning. What is this one, sir? You have created a one bucket. Think like this. You have created a one bucket. So this is your bucket. Okay. Once you created a bucket, you have uploaded a file. Think like this. You have uploaded a sales.csv file. Okay. For some purpose, you have used this file. Okay. For data processing purpose, you have used this file. Okay. So for here, you are doing some data processing. Okay. Here you are doing data processing. For that, you need this file. You took this file from here. Okay. And you are doing some activity on it. Okay. Okay. What you have done, sir? You wanted to do some data processing, data cleaning on this sales.csv from this bucket. So you have loaded that file sales.csv from the bucket, nothing but a Google Cloud storage to data processing system. And here it is. Okay. Once you have removed null values, something like this, you have cleaned something like removed null values, removed duplicate values. After that, where you have to store? Again, I wanted to store here, guys. Okay. When you wanted to again store here, when you wanted to again store here, now understand, sir. When you wanted to again store here, now tell me what are the options to you. What are the options? Either you can overwrite this object. Okay. Because it is the same file. Either you can overwrite this object or you can create a one more version of this object. Understand this point, sir. Either you can overwrite this object, okay, like this. For example, you keep this file here and keep it here. That means the file was overwritten. That means what happened, sir? The original file is gone. The new file with the clean data is there. So this is one way of doing it. So this is a object versioning. For this point of time, you don't need to be object versioning. Okay, you don't need to select the object versioning. But sir, I don't want that. What I want is like whenever I do some kind of activity on my file, I wanted to create a one more version of it. What I wanted to do, sir, I wanted to have a one more version of it. Now, if I store this file here, it should be a one more file, one more version, and one more object like this. Sales.csv, it is a 01.csv. Okay, so this is how I can go for the version. So when you enable the object versioning, it will not overwrite the existing object, the original object. It will create a one more object, sir. Okay, sales. Okay, what is this one, sir? Sales 01. 01 is your version of next version of your original file. Okay, what is the main difference between the sales.csv to the sales01.csv? So you have done some processing on top of it. Likewise, if you have taken sales.01 and csv, okay, what happened is like you have taken this file again and you done a one more versioning and you have created a one more file. Okay, if you done one more versioning, that means sales underscore 02.csv. So this is a third version. Likewise, you can go for, if you do any times of a activity on this file, you can go for any number of versions. Okay, so this is what is nothing but a object versioning. Okay, what is the main advantage of the object versioning? You can keep your original files along with the newer versions of this file. Okay, so objective versioning enables you to keep the original file as well as processed files. Okay, modified files. So this is the original file. From this one, this is a modified file, and from this one, this is a one more modified file. From this one more modified file. This is how this is was original and this is modified. This is original and this is modified. This is original and this is modified. So this is how you will be able to create object versioning. But if you don't enable the object versioning, what will happen, sir? All this will be overwritten. So you don't find these versions, you will only find this thing. Okay, all files will be with the same name and it will be overwritten. So this is how you will only be finding a sales.csv. But if you enable the versioning, then you will be able to find like this. But the question is, how many levels of object versioning I can have? Sir, I can go, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And how many versions I can enable? Or how many levels of object versioning I can have? So that thing you can actually select in your here. Okay. So what happens? So when you enable the object versioning, what will happen, sir? For restoring deleted or overwritten objects, to minimize the cost of storing the versions, we recommended to limit the number of non-current versions. So for example, if you enable the object versioning, that means the versioning will already enabled. So maximum versions per object is 1. Okay, or you can select 2, or you can select 5, or you can select anything. And non-concurrent, expire non-concurrent versions after this many days. For example, sir, you select 7. Okay, so for example, what happened? Sorry, you select 4, sir. Okay, you select 4. What happened is like, so 1, this is a 1, 2, 3, and 4. One next the 5 will come, this first original file will be gone, because what will be happening, you select only 4 versions. Okay, so again there will be only 4 versions for that particular object. Older versions will be deleted. Again, if a new more version comes, and the very original file will be deleted. Likewise, you will be able to have. Sir, when it will be deleted? After 7 days. After 7 days, like this. For example, if you select here 3, sir. Okay, 3 versions. If you select, what will happen is like, so you selected 3, and this is your first version. This is your second version. Third version will be there. Third version. When the third version came, this file is gone. Okay, when the fourth version came, sales.04.csv, because we need only 4 version, right? When the fourth version came, this will be gone, because at a time how many versions you want, you will be having it. Maximum number of versions will be at a time 3 only. So how it will be enabling it? The existing, the very older version will be removed. The recent last 3 versions will be available. So this is how it is going to be managing, guys. Okay, so this is what is called as objective versioning. What is meant by objective versioning, sir? Instead of overwriting the objects, you are going to enable the objective versioning for tracking purpose. Whatever the activity you are doing, right? So for that activity, you can able to track your what kind of activity you have done it. So this is what is the main advantage of objective versioning. Okay, hope you got it. Okay, and one more thing is, final thing is, what was that, sir? Retention policy. Okay, this is either object versioning or retention policy. Let me tell you now. Retention policy. So very simple, sir. Retention policy is very simple. You see here, you have created a bucket. What is this one, sir? You have created a bucket. That bucket, inside that you have uploaded a file called sales.csv. Okay, sales.csv. So if I delete this file, the file will be automatically deleted. Okay, if I try to delete the sales.csv, this file will be automatically deleted. but I don't want to delete this file until some period of time. Okay, as soon as the file is uploaded, until the some period of time, it should not be deleted. That is known as a retention policy. You put a retention period here. Okay, retention period. That retention period, if you select some 5 hours, okay, what will happen is like, if you upload a one file, if you upload a one file to this bucket, until 5 hours, that not even a single file will be able to delete it. You cannot delete it. Okay, this is your requirement in the companies, right? For example, if someone is uploading a file, no one will be able to delete the file until some period of time. So this is what is known as a retention policy, sir. You put some retention policy on top of your bucket. So as soon as you delete, as soon as you uploaded a file to the particular bucket, that cannot be deleted. If the retention period is over, you can able to delete it. Okay, that retention period can be a 5 minute, 1 minute, 1 hour, 5 hour, 10 hour, 1 minute, 1 month, 1 year. So it can be anything. Okay, so let us see what is that here. So for preventing the deletion or modification of buckets, objects for a specific minimum duration of time after being uploaded. Okay, so it is also like that, not only for deletion, sir, for also for modification, two things. Okay, you cannot delete it, you cannot modify it. You don't have a right access here on this file until retention period is over. So you cannot do two things. You cannot delete the file, you cannot modify the file until the retention period is over. So this is what is nothing but a retention policy. You see here. So retain the objects for, like I would say, for 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes means 180 seconds. Okay. So I have selected for 3 minutes, sir. Okay. So now I have selected all the things. Object versioning, I don't wanted to go for object versioning. I wanted to go for retention policy. Okay, I have selected that one. So access control is standard, storage class is standard, location type is region, and the bucket name is this one. Click on create. Confirm. Okay. Now you see here, sir, bucket storage bucket batch 10 is created. Okay, so you have created a one bucket with all your requirements, sir. For example, let me upload a file. Okay, let me upload a file, guys. Okay, so I am uploading CSV file, that is customers.csv. Okay, one file is uploaded. You see here customers.csv. Okay, now tell me, sir, what is the retention period? Until 180 seconds, I cannot be able to delete it, right? So if I try to delete it, so click on this file. You see here, click on delete. Click on delete. It should not be deleted because it is not 3 minutes. So it should throw an error. See, bucket could not be deleted. You can click on view details. You can see here it is failed because object has a retention policy, cannot be deleted or overwritten. After this time, you can able to do it. So this is what is a retention policy, sir. If someone wanted to delete the file within the retention period, they cannot be able to do it, sir. After 3 minutes, it is only we have selected only 180 seconds. You can select 1 day, you can select days, and some 10 days, 1 year also you can select. So it is your own choice. This retention policy period is your own choice. For now, for demo purpose, I have selected 180 seconds. Okay. And location region is this one, storage class is this one, and public access is no public access. Sir, what is the main advantage of the Google Cloud Storage? For storing the bucket as well as retrieving the data. Okay, for example,
Sir,
tomorrow, yeah.
after retention period is over, the file will be automatically deleted, or
No,
else it
no,
will
no,
be
no,
there.
no. It will not be deleted. You can, if you wanted to delete it, you can delete it. Okay, retention policy is something that retention, my retention policy, the name itself, it is say that this file for sure will be available for this much time. Okay, for sure it will be available. Later point of time, if someone is deleted, it will not be available. If someone is keep not deleting it, it will be available again. But retention policy, for sure that file will be available, but for that period of time. Okay, after some time, if someone wanted to delete it, it can be able, they can able to delete it. But within the retention, even though if someone try to delete it, they don't have access. Even though someone try to overwrite it, also they cannot have, they cannot do it. Okay, so this is something. And
We can change
yeah,
that retention period, right?
sorry.
We can change the retention period, right? If you want to delete now.
Yes, we can change it. We can change it. For example, we can go to the protection and we can edit it. Okay, I can edit it. Now it is 180 seconds, right? You can change it to 120 seconds, or you can change it to some days. Okay, 2 days. Okay, anything. Or I don't want it to remove it at all. I don't want a retention policy at all. This you can delete it. Entire retention policy. I don't want a retention policy at all.
Okay,
You
okay.
can delete it. Yeah. Okay, retention policy is gone. You see here, there is no retention policy option here. For example, if I try to delete it, it will be deleted. Done, deleted. Okay, so this is how. If you wanted to have a retention policy, you can go. If you don't wanted to have a retention policy, you can remove it. Okay, now I have uploaded one more file, sir. It can be deleted automatically because it's easy, because there is no retention policy. That's one thing. And sir, now in our Google Cloud Storage, the main activity that we are doing is like storing the data. And one more thing is retrieving the data. Sir, how I can retrieve this file? Okay, how to retrieve the file? I mean, how I can access this file from some other service? For that one, you click on this particular service. Sorry, click on the particular object. You see here, this is the metadata of the object, guys. For that particular object, which object you have selected here? You see region underscore country list.csv. This CSV file, this is the metadata of that particular file. Okay, that file is a type is text, size is this one, when it is created, last created, what is the storage class, and public URL is not allowed for authenticated URL. This can be an authenticated URL, sir. This is the GS util URL. So what is the difference between this one and this one? Sir, authenticated URL, if someone wanted to access this CSV file from outside the Google Cloud platform, then they can go for this link. If someone wanted to access this particular file from the inside a Google Cloud Platform services, they can go for this path. Okay, so accessing is very important, sir. It is not that I wanted to store the data. It's not my intention to store the data. My intention is to do some processing on top of it. Tomorrow I wanted to do some processing. So main intention is, it's not our main idea to just to store the data. Tomorrow we need to access the file. How to access the file? This is the link of that. Inside the Google Cloud, you can use this link. Outside the Google Cloud, you can use this link. Okay, so these are the accessing. Now, sir, the very good question we have think about is like, Okay, I wanted to provide a access to each person. Okay, object level. Anyway, we selected this as a what's a fine grained, right? Okay, so if you click on this configuration, this is a bucket configuration, sir. You see here, this is a bucket configuration. Okay, inside a bucket configuration, this is a metadata of the bucket. So when it is created, when it is updated, what is the location? You cannot edit the location later. Replication, you cannot edit it. But storage classes, if you wanted to change it to today, you can change it to anything. Okay, you can edit the storage class. Okay, sir, this is your bucket if you wanted to access it outside the GCP, inside the GCP. Okay, access control is fine-grained. Tomorrow, if you wanted to make it as a uniform, also you make it. So now the bucket is what, sir? It is a fine-grained access. The control via fine-grained. Now I wanted to provide a permission to this bucket. Okay, so the access control is what, sir? Fine-grained access. So access to objects can be granted through object access control list. So this is what is this. So now there are two things that I can do. One is grant access at a object entire bucket level. So I will select some account here. Okay. Okay, this is not correct name, sir. Anyway, but I'm sorry. Okay, it seems like it is correct only. I didn't create it, but yeah, you go to the Google Cloud Storage, you select a storage admin or storage object admin, creator or viewer. You select one thing, save it. So bucket level, you have provided an access to that particular person. Who is that person? Somewhere here it is. For this person, you have selected object admin. Bucket level storage object admin. That means he is an object admin of this particular bucket from now on. No, sir. I don't want it to provide a bucket level permissions because I don't want it to provide a bucket level because he is a data engineer. He should be only have access to only this file. Okay, so only this file we have to provide access. Then in that case, you see here, you are inside a CSV file. You click on edit access. Okay, what is that user, sir? Add an entry, and it is a user or a group. You select either group also, domain also, project also, public also. You can select user, and what is that name of him? Saidhul Johnny at gmail.com. Okay, and what kind of access you wanted to provide him? Owner access or reader access? That means viewer access or owner access. You can provide a owner access, can save it. Okay, so this is what is nothing but an object level access. You provide an object wise. Okay, you went to the CSV. That means now you can see who has access to this object. So this person, from now on, this person is having access to this bucket. Okay, so these are the all other things are like this editor, owner, viewer, or these are the common, sir. It is about all about project, and user is my account. So you can see here, right? This is my Google account. But any other account entries, any other access, if you wanted to do, you add an entry, you provide a email name or this one, you select here. Okay, whether it is a owner or reader. Okay, so this is how you are going to edit the access of each object. So object level permissions you are going to achieve it with this option. Okay, hope you got it, guys. Any questions on this one? Okay,
That
hope
means
you
they
got
can
it.
able to edit the file, everything from file level permission.
So yeah, they can. For example, if you select it is a owner access, they can do it.
Okay, reader means
Modify
just
it,
they
delete
can.
it,
Okay.
modify it, delete it, anything. If I select a reader, he can only view the file.
Okay, but they can't upload the file in that bucket, right?
No. If it
Okay,
is reader, no. But if it is a owner, they can upload it, they can create a new file, they can modify it, they can delete it, anything. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is how you are going to achieve a object level permissions. As I also told you, bucket level permissions can be achieved with the help of what, sir? IAM. You go to the, this is your bucket. You go to the permissions directly. Bucket level permissions means you are inside a bucket only. You are not going to select anything. So you click on grant access. This is your IAM, sir. Okay, this is, you just click on grant access. You select that particular principal or nothing but an account, and you assign a role. Okay, so this is how you are going to achieve a bucket level permissions, and that way you are going to achieve a object level permissions. Clear?
Yes.
Is it clear, guys?
Yeah, clear.
Hope you guys are with me. So this is how two things. Now everything is good, sir. Now I have successfully created a bucket, and I have uploaded an object. I selected a retention policy. I know how to select a retention policy. Now I know how to provide a permissions to the bucket level as well as object level also. And I know how to access the file with the help of the outside the GCP, how to access it, inside the GCP, how to access it also. I know that, sir. And I think all the things are here. Okay. So this is all about storage, Google Cloud Storage, creating a bucket from the console. Okay. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me, sir. Otherwise, what I will do is like now, I will try to tell you how to create a bucket with the help of the Cloud Shell. Okay. That is very simple, sir. You don't go to this thing if I say that thing, because code is very simple. Okay. Yeah. I think no one is having any questions, sir. Now that means we now know that how to create a bucket with the help of a cloud console. Now let me activate the cloud shell. Sir, we now know how to activate the cloud shell also. We go to the top right corner and we click on this activate cloud shell. Yeah, someone is asking a question.
Sir, can you just give me one example for ACL? ACL, how you are creating, sir? Through ACL?
So I'll go to this one, bucket. I'll click on the file. ACL is nothing but object level permissions, right? So object level permissions. What does that mean, sir? I have to first select my object. I will select my object. Permission means access right. Click on one. Add an entry. Add a entry, username, and whether it is a reader or owner. Click on show. That's it. Done.
Only two permissions, a reader or a owner?
Yeah, there are only two permissions. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So now we will see how to create a bucket with the help of the with the help of the command line tool. Okay, let me activate. So let me go to this first page. Sorry. Okay, this first page, you see here, I can activate the Cloud Shell, right? Okay, click on this activate button. So Cloud Shell will be activated here, sir. Okay, so even though when you are inside a Cloud Shell also, the very first thing that you have to do is like, you have to be selecting a proper project, sir. Okay, first thing, gcloud config set, sorry, config set project. Okay, the project, you see here the same code. I have not done anything, sir. The same code I copied and pasted here. Okay, I don't want it to do so. So I copied and pasted here. What is my project ID? I select my this one project. I select my project ID from here, copy it and paste it here. Click enter. That means it is going to we are going to authorize it. So that means the project will be changed now. Okay, updated property. So from now on, this is the project will be shown here. Okay, this is our project ID where we are working. Okay, so once you selected a proper project, now you have to create a bucket. Sir, very simply, if you wanted to create a bucket, you don't want to worry about all of those things, then just click on commands are gsutil commands, sir. Okay, why they are calling gsutil commands, I will tell you. Okay, create a bucket. Not only create a bucket, sir. So if you wanted to interact with the command line tool and wanted to create a bucket or object or whatever the thing inside a Google Cloud Storage, all those commands are starting with the gsutil, sir. All the commands will start with the gsutil. That's the reason they're going to call it as a gsutil commands. Okay, all the commands will start with the gsutil. So that's the reason gsutil commands. So what does this gsutil commands imply? gsutil commands are nothing but a GCS to interact with the GCS. Okay, interact with the GCS from the Cloud Shell. So the gsutil commands, all the commands will begin with the gsutil, sir. So that's the reason. Now, if I wanted to create a bucket, no worries about that, sir. I do not know about the commands I have already listed here. You have my notes, you see here. So how to create a bucket and bucket properties in the shell? Select a proper project first thing, and after that gsutil commands. Okay, we already know what is a gsutil commands now. gsutil commands are the ones, when I say gsutil, you are going to interact with the Google Cloud Storage from the Cloud Shell. So that is what is gsutil commands. Now you see here, sir, if I wanted to create a bucket, somewhere there will be a create a bucket. You see here at the end, create a bucket. What is this command, sir? Okay, gsutil mb gs slash // bucket name, we have to provide it. Okay, I will go here, gsutil mb gs / bucket name, I have to provide it, right? It should be a very unique name. We already know. If I, for example, if I give bucket /1, do you think it will be creating? Because the bucket name is already taking, right? So you see here, bucket 1 is already exist. Someone has, because it should not, it should be a globally unique name. So far, no one has used this name. So that's the reason bucket 1 might have been taken by some other people in the Google Cloud Storage, right? So that's the reason you cannot able to create it. For that one, now I will come up with a very unique name, that is demo bucket resources. Okay, so this is the bucket name I have given, sir. You see here, if I, as soon as I click on enter, you will be able to see at the top the bucket is started creating. You will be able to see here. Okay, so if I refresh it here, see here, sir, demo bucket resources created just now. Okay, very simple. By default, it will take by default location type, by default storage class. Okay, by default public access are subjected to ACLS. By default find and access, protection is none, all of these things. So by default options, it will take it. No, sir, I don't wanted it to take a default actions. I wanted to create a with a different options, right? So for example, I wanted to select a proper storage class. Sir, I wanted to provide a bucket location also. Sir, I want to provide a what I would say retention policy also. You can also create a bucket like that. Okay, so this is something like this, gsutil mb. Okay, you hyphen mention p, the project ID you mention here. Okay, all the things if you wanted to mention. So this is one thing. And the storage class, so hyphen c, you mention the storage class. So the storage class you wanted to do is like a near line. Okay, and if you wanted to select a location, -L. The location is you wanted to select a multi-region. Okay, and the retention policy. I think it's PRC. I don't remember, sir, but it is retention policy. You select 1 minute, guys. I don't know. I forgot actually how to put a retention policy in this one. Retention period or something like that. I forgot. One minute, guys. Somewhere I forgot. Bucket with the retention policy in Cloud Shell. Okay, that I will tell you, sir. Okay, that is fine. And if you wanted to go for uniform bucket level access or fine grained bucket level access, that is also you can say. So if it is a uniform, you can just mention uniform. Okay, why it's not coming? Hyphen uniform bucket level access. So this is what. Sir, if you don't understand this L, you can also mention like location. So that is also fine. Okay. So if you don't understand, sir, I don't understand this one. Hyphen location also you can mention. Location, or if it is you don't understand the storage class, then you can also mention hyphen storage class. Okay, is equals to, you have, I think we have to mention equals to. Whenever we mention hyphen, we have to mention equals to. Equal to. Likewise, we mention project, right? So we will also mention hyphen project equals to. Okay, so this is how MB we mentioning project storage class. Location spelling is wrong. Location, okay, as well as uniform bucket level access. So I think all of the things are here. So what is the final thing that we have to mention, sir? Bucket name we have to mention, right? So I will mention GS// the bucket name I wanted to mention is something I do not know. I do not wanted to create this something a dummy. I will create it, sir. Later I will delete it. Okay, enter. Something wrong? Okay. Key location -L directly I can use. Okay, you can use directly. This is what he is saying, sir. You can directly mention like this. Okay, instead of selecting all of these things. So let me just copy this thing and I will go to my notepad and we will try to write here and come here and try to do the same thing, right? Okay, if I wanted to create a full-fledged bucket, okay, let me increase the size so that you will be able to see here, guys. Okay, 16. Now, so instead of mentioning the entire bucket, he is saying that use only -p. Okay, -p, that is project ID. Storage class -c, that is nearline. Location -L, multi-region. Uniform bucket level access.
Now it's showing retention also. Can you add it?
Yeah, we can also now put a retention policy also. Now retention and time. So this I will mention here as somewhere retention retention, the time instead of time, what I would say, some 10. By default, it will take some 10 seconds, I believe. Okay, 10 seconds. Okay, this bucket name, I will put it at the front, sir. I don't want it here. Okay, I will go here and I will mention create this bucket, and on this project, on the storage class is this one, and the location is this one. Okay, and the bucket access is uniform, bucket level access, and retention policy is this one. I'm not sure how to provide this 10 seconds or just 10 is enough, but we will see. Okay, GSC MB. Let me copy this thing. Where is that? Let me clear the window. Let me provide it here. MB does not support file / URLs. You mean GS? What does that mean? I have provided that only, right? MB does not support file.
Otherwise, we can create the bucket in the existing this one demo like.
No, we can only create a bucket. It's only the bucket. We cannot create a something like this because it shouldn't show like this. Let me try to do it one more time. Okay, instead of this one, what I will do. We can also use one more command also, but I will also try that G cloud storage buckets create. This is also we can use it. Let's try that as well. There's some problem. So retention, something wrong with the retention, guys. Did you mean retention period? Yes. So what I will do, I will remove that retention now. For now, I don't want it to worry about it. Okay, 1 minute, guys. Let me create a bucket which very simply. I don't want to worry about these things. Okay, I think so. Let me update it here first. Okay, GSUtil MB. I have given a project ID. So this is my project ID. -P. I have given project ID. -C. I have given storage class. -L. I have given a multi-region. So let me remove all of these things. 1 minute. So let me just copy this thing and try to create a bucket. MB does not exist. I don't know what's wrong with it. You mean to use a GS / URL? I know. 1 minute, guys. Let me see what is this error. This is the first time I'm seeing it. Use right. We created a bucket with the GS there. It is asking to throw this support to the domain URL. Let's see what is this error. Okay. So in that case, I will do like this. He's saying that you use this at the end. We actually created at the end only first. Yeah. So this is what it's trying to create it. Location constant is not valid. Okay. So the location what we have mentioned is multi-region. In that case, I can select any location. That is also fine. So, but now this is how we create it. Okay, got it right. So let me show you one more time. For example, if I wanted to use this particular code only to create a bucket, okay. So what we will do, I will go to the location. Okay, instead of multi-region, what I will do, I will select some region, sir. Okay, US hyphen east hyphen one or just east one. So it will create a bucket inside that location. That. So if I refresh it, it will be created here. Okay, see here, something like we have created a bucket name. This is our bucket name, right? Some 20, something like this. So this is what is a bucket. It is created inside a region. This is a region. Okay, so this is how you can able to create a bucket from the Cloud Shell as well. Okay, so you have created a bucket from the Cloud Shell. So this is not our just creating a bucket, right? Sir, for example, if I wanted to delete a bucket, what I can do, sir? Okay, for that all the activity, whatever thing you wanted to do, I have listed out all the commands here, sir. Creating a bucket, this is how you create a bucket. Sir, if you wanted to delete a bucket also somewhere, delete rm, and you can just mention delete means rm. Okay, you can just mention gsutil, sorry, gsutil rm. If you wanted to delete this particular bucket, right, copy this thing, gs// this is the one. So enter, the bucket will be deleted. Or else matched, did you mean to rm minus r? Yes, sorry, rm minus r whenever you wanted to create it. Removed. So you, if I refresh it, you don't find that particular file here, particular bucket here. Bucket is deleted. So you can create a bucket, delete a bucket. No, sir, I don't want to create a bucket and delete a bucket. For example, just now I have created. So earlier we have created a demo bucket resources, right? In this one, I do not have any files. Okay, what I wanted to do is like, I wanted to copy one file from this bucket to that bucket. Okay, what I wanted to do, sir, I wanted to copy one file from this bucket to that bucket. For example, it is this file, sir. Okay, java file.csv.js. This file I wanted to copy from this bucket to that bucket. Okay, for that one, I'll just go here. Okay, first thing I want you to understand is like copying a file. Okay, copy file. So somewhere there will be a copy. So this is CP, GS util CP. You wanted to use the existing path and new path, right? GS util CP. What is the path of that existing and the new path? Okay. I'm going to do what, right? So GS util copy. I wanted to copy. Which files are you wanted to copy? So this is a file. So this file, right? GS util inside this bucket. This is a file I wanted to copy. Copy this path. Okay. To where you wanted to copy, sir? I wanted to copy to. So this bucket, right? Batch 10. This bucket I wanted to copy. The file has to come here. Okay. You copy this thing. Okay. Now you see here ds//v, enter this one. And while copying also, I wanted to create a one file. So it is a Java folder. I wanted to create a one folder. So I created one Java folder. Inside that, it has to create a that Java file.js has to be moved. Okay. In that case, you see here, sir, it is moved. Operation completed. Copying what's this file to the mentioned bucket. So this file. So if I go here, and now I do not have anything. If I refresh it, I'll be able to see one folder here, Java folder. So Java folder I will see. Inside that I should see the file name. Okay, Java file.cs. Okay, so this is how you can also copy, move a file, delete a file. You can also, sir, I don't want this file now. If you wanted to delete it, you can also delete a file. So any activity, whatever the thing you wanted to do, you can able to do from the Google Cloud Storage, Google Cloud Shell as well. Okay. Okay, guys. Any questions?
Sir, in one bucket we can store as many
Yes,
we need,
yes,
sir.
yes. Any number of
In
files
one
you can store,
bucket,
yes.
sir.
Sorry? Yeah.
While creating a bucket, it will take automatically, right, sir? That multi-region like and all.
This will, when
Without
you just,
using Cloud Shell, we can edit, right, sir?
I mean, if you wanted to edit it, there can be a way, but the thing is like the code becomes very complex.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? So this is how you actually go through. I mean, you actually wanted to interact with the Google Cloud Storage from the Cloud Shell. There is a command for each and everything, guys. Will be a command for each and everything. What you just have to do is like you just have to make yourself comfortable with the commands. That's it. Okay. The common commands I have listed. List all the buckets. For example, if I wanted to list all the buckets, okay, gsutil ls. So it will list out all the buckets inside my Google Cloud Storage. You see here, these are the buckets. These are the buckets. If I wanted to list all the files inside a bucket, ls, inside a bucket, for example, I will take this bucket. Okay, it will list out all the files inside that bucket. You see here, this is one, and there is a folder. Okay, this is a folder. If you wanted to list out all the files in one more bucket, so anything can be done here. If you wanted to list it out, okay, download a file. Sir, I wanted to download something. You can download it. You can upload a file. You can, if you wanted to view a file, sir, I wanted this file to be viewed. Okay, so I wanted to view a file. So gsutil cat is the file. Cat is a command to view the file, sir. What is the file you are viewing? So this file, which one? Regions underscore country underscore list .csv. You wanted to see that, you mentioned cat command. That data will be shown here. You see that data is shown here. Okay, the data is not in a correct way, but it is like this is how you can see it. Okay, so these are the things that you can all do, guys. Okay, what you have to do is like create a bucket from the console, create a bucket from the Cloud Shell, try to do some activities from both of the ends. So that is where you are going to add. So if you wanted to have more commands, gsutil help, you can also click on help. You will get some help here. So what are the commands inside the gsutil? You will be able to see all of the things here. Okay, so for example, moving an object. Make an object. Make means create an object. MB is a command to create an object. MV for move an object or rename an object. So likewise, RB remove the buckets. RM remove the objects. Okay, so all the things, update, versioning if you wanted to do. So ACLS, anything if you wanted to, all the commands are here, sir. The only thing is that we have to make yourself comfortable. But sir, what you suggested, do we have to go all of these commands? No. No one will be learning all of these commands. The only thing is like it's important for us to know how to create a bucket, how to delete a bucket, how to create a folder, how to delete a folder, how to create an object, how to upload an object, how to download it. Those commands are enough. You need not to worry about all of the things. Okay. Again, you just have to know if something goes.
So what is the purpose, sir? What is the purpose of object lifecycle, sir?
Sorry, object of?
Object lifecycle, sir.
So object lifecycle, yes. Yeah. So this is something kind of a rule, sir. Whenever you wanted to add some rule. So for example, like think like this, after some days, you wanted to make your storage class, standard storage class to nearline. In that case, you can create a rule here. Okay. So set a storage class to nearline after something. Set a storage class to cold line. So that kind of activities you can do it. Okay. For example, if I click on continue, on what basis? On age. If I mention age, how many days? After 30 days, I want this bucket, whatever the bucket which is there, right? That is will be set from standard storage class to nearline. Okay, so that kind of a rules you can add it here. Okay, this kind of a rules you can add. If you wanted to add it, you can go for the object lifecycle. Yeah. You can also read it out here. Lifecycle rule lets you apply some actions to a bucket when certain conditions are met. For example, switching your objects to colder storage classes when they reach or pass a certain age. Okay, so this is how it is going to take. Yeah. Any other questions, guys?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi sir. Good morning. Actually, today is my first session.
Okay.
So may I know the duration and all for this course details?
Yes, the course duration will be 45 hours, sir. It's going to take up to close to 2 months. And the course content we have already explained. If you need a course content, you can connect with the team. The course content is already displayed. We are going to high level if you wanted to understand. Sir, if you wanted to understand high level course content, I would like to tell you here. These are the topics that we are covering, sir. Data lakes, Google Cloud Storage, RDBMS solutions, Cloud SQL and Cloud Spanner, data warehousing, BigQuery, NoSQL databases, Bigtable, ingestion tool, PubSub, streaming data ingestion, data processing. We have a data proc, data flow, data fusion. We are covering all of these things. Workflow orchestration tool. We are covering the Airflow and IAM as well as cloud functions, cloud scheduler. So all of these concepts we are covering high level. Okay. So topic wise, if you wanted to see the details, you can see here.
BigQuery will be deep dive or just this one after loading the files?
No. It's almost a deep dive only, sir. Almost all the things like nested fields, how to work with the data warehousing concept.
Queries by
Some,
using the SQL queries also we can check it. Huh?
yeah, yes, from SQL queries, some loops also. I will try to help you on that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this one, and at the end we are not at the end, guys. Whenever we are talking about Airflow, I will be talking about Airflow project itself. Okay. Orchestration with help of this. So we will be having a real-time project as well. So whenever we are talking about that particular tool, we will be having a scenario-based projects as well as real-time projects as well. I am going to explain it here. Yeah.
Looker
So
is
these are
coming.
the main concepts that we are covering. Yeah. Sorry.
Looker or Studio like.
No, sir. This is we are not covering the visualization components here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you
Okay.
share
Any
the
other?
notes? We got the recordings, but we don't have notes.
Sorry.
We didn't receive any notes. Only the recordings has been shared.
Yes. So I have not shared the notes. It's because I want everyone to be registered. Once everyone is registered, I will directly just send a link so that you will be able to access it. Maybe from Monday onwards, I will be able to provide you access, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other
Yes,
questions?
sir.
Any
One question. Is this all this cover in big data? Means it's part of data engineer or what?
It's a part of big data course, sir. It's a whatever the thing that we are focusing on is a big data. That means a data engineer, big data developer, all of these things. Okay. It's more of a big data.
And what all things comes under data engineer? Means all this comes.
Yes, all of this comes as a data engineer. You are going to cover all of these things only. Yeah. So when you are working in a big data projects, in a flow, you will be working in almost all of these things. When you are working in a data engineering, either you will be working on only BigQuery or only one Cloud SQL, something like that. But when you are working in an entire big data projects, all this almost will come into the picture. Yep. Any other questions, everyone? Okay. So that is it, guys. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can wind up the session. So tomorrow we will meet and we will try to see all. I will try to tell you how to, recapitulate all the Google Cloud storage, and I will tell you how to create an account. That's we will end this week, guys. Hope you are learning something from this week. Yeah. Thank you all. Yeah, someone is asking how to copy multiple files from one bucket to another bucket. That can be possible, sir. I will tell you. Okay, tomorrow you make me remember this question, so I will tell you. That's very simple. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you all. Complete your registration, sir, so that there won't be any, interruption during the classes. Yeah. Thank you all. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the session today. Hope you guys are doing good. So yesterday we had discussed what is the course content and everything.
Recording in progress.
Right? From today onwards, we're gonna discuss the very first topic, that is in a GCP, we have a GCP database landscape and big data landscape. So one by one, we are going to start with. So in a first half, I'm going to explain few concepts related to the databases, that is our Google Cloud Storage. And after that, we're going to start with at the second of our session, I will tell you the how to create a free tier account in the GCP, so that you'll be able to create a free tier account. After that, you'll be able to practice what are the sessions that we are having in. So let me start with the session today. So in the GCP database landscape, this is the agenda, guys. Okay, we are going to see explain all the GCP databases landscape and the differences between the RDBMS as well as NoSQL databases. And in this one, we are going to look at the Cloud SQL, Cloud Spanner, and Bigtable. Okay, so these are the things. So first, we're gonna see data lake modernization in the GCP. If you wanted to have a data lake in the GCP, how we can have it? So which tool can be acting as a data lake in the GCP? Let us see one by one, right? So yes, we already know what is a data lake, guys. A data lake is a centralized repository to store the data. Okay, a centralized repository to store or retrieve the data as per the business requirement, right? So what kind of a data we can store, guys? You can see here. We can store structured data, semi-structured data, unstructured data. We can store either if it is a batch data or streaming data. It should be able to withstand for SQL, ML, and searching. We can able to store on-prem data, cloud data, and this data. So it is a scalable and secured platform to store the data, retrieve the data for further analysis or processing purpose. So this is what is a data lake, right? We have seen what is a data lake. Let me try to tell you what is a data lake from my notes. Okay, this is my notes, guys. Where is that? Okay, basics. Yeah. So this is what it is, a data lake. I hope you guys can see my screen clearly. Okay. So usually you get a data from a multiple data sources. So in a data lake, the data lake should be withstand to store any amount of data that is coming from a multiple data sources, and it should not restrict any data format. It should allow any data format to be stored, any amount of data to be stored, and it should be scalable platform and also secured platform. Okay, so that is what is a data lake. A data lake is a centralized repository to store or retrieve the data. And what kind of data we can store, guys? Any kind of data we can store here. Okay, and do we have any restriction on the number of files that we can store here? No, there is no restriction on the number of files that we can store in the data lake. Okay, and it is a scalable and secured platform, right? So this is what is the definition of a data lake. Now let us see data lakes using a GCS. In a Google Cloud platform, we have Google Cloud Storage is acting as a data lake. What is that? Let us see now. Okay, so this is Google Cloud Storage is as a data lake in the GCP. So what is a Google Cloud Storage, guys? So let me go to the print and try to explain you guys one by one. So from today, from the very first topic that we are going to see is Google Cloud Storage. What is a Google Cloud Storage? Let us see first. Okay. Sir, Google Cloud Storage is one of the fully managed services in the GCP. What is this one, sir? One of the fully managed services in the GCP. What do you mean by that, sir? What is mean by fully managed service? Sir, I want you to understand what is mean by fully managed. For very first thing, I will try to tell you. Sir, if you go to any cloud platform, okay, if you go to any cloud platform, the services in the cloud platform are categorized into two things. One is managed instance, okay, not managed, virtual machine. Second one is managed instance, and third one is serverless. Okay, sir, VM based. People call it as a VM based. Okay, these are the three categories. If you go to any cloud platform, the services in the cloud platform are categorized into three. One is VM based services, one more is managed services or fully managed services, and third one is serverless. What do you mean by that, sir? In a VM based services, okay, for example, look at your laptop. In your laptop, if you wanted to work with any of the Python coding, or if you wanted to develop one application, what do, sir? You manually download one software like Python application, and you will provide some resources to that, and you will try to install that, and after that you go for the application development. What do, sir? Whatever the requirements, whatever the resources, whatever the infrastructure required for your entire application development, you as a person taking care of it, taking considering from the laptop itself. So you need a laptop. That laptop needs to have some kind of resources, and that laptop will have its own configuration. And on top of that, you will again download an application and install on top of your laptop, and again you try to develop an application. Likewise, in a VM based, an entire virtual machine will be given to you, so that an entire virtual machine will be given to you. 1 minute, guys. Sorry, I'm getting a call. 1 minute. Sorry, guys, I back now. So there are three categories in the cloud platforms. One is VM based, managed, and serverless. But before this one, if you wanted to understand, there is a one more category which is not a cloud platform. That is non-cloud platform. That is, we call it as an on-premises, right? So we have a one more thing is also there, that is on-premises. It is not a cloud. In on-premises, if you wanted to work with any of the application development, you have to manage your physical infrastructure. Okay. Physical infrastructure you have to manage. Again, if you need to have a separate environment, you have to manage your virtual machine. Manage the virtual machines. Manage the VM. And again, if you wanted to work with an application, you have to manage your application. Okay, because you have to download, install all of those things. Again, you are the person need to develop the solution. Okay, so in a typical architecture, this is the things happening is in any company. If someone wanted to work with the any application development, first thing there will be a resources part. One is infrastructure. So as a person, we have to take care of the physical infrastructure. Again, if we have to have a development environment separated for each application, we need to go for a virtual machines. And again, we have to manage the application configuration. And finally, we can develop the solution on top of the service. So this is what it is. So in on-premises, you as a person have to manage all of these things, guys. Okay, in a on-premises, we have to manage all of these things. Okay, but if you go to the cloud platform, what is the main advantage? Let us see one by one. Okay, very important thing, guys. No one will tell this point, but you have to understand, because somewhere you are seeing a VM based services, somewhere you are using a managed services, somewhere you are using a fully managed serverless platforms. So now you will be able to understand the concept of this one. Okay, in a VM based, you need not to manage the physical infrastructure, because the physical infrastructure will be provided to you in the form of a virtual machine to you. In the cloud platform, you need not to manage the physical infrastructure, but you have to manage your configuration for the virtual machine. You have to manage your application platform as well as development. Okay, in a VM based services are hosted. People also call it as a hosted, guys. VM based are hosted services. In this one, you need not to manage the infrastructure here, because infrastructure will be provided to you in the form of a virtual machine. And after that, managing the virtual machine, managing the application, and developing a solution is on you. Okay. But who will be taking care of the physical architecture? The cloud platform will be taking care of it. And if you go to the second category, that is managed services, the physical infrastructure will be taken care by the cloud platform, and managing the virtual machines also taken care by the virtual platform, and only the application and development will be taken care by you. Managing the application, managing the developing a solution will be based on you. Okay, you have to manage it, you have to take care of it. Okay, and if you go to the serverless platforms, the name itself it is saying, you need not to worry about a physical infrastructure, you need not to worry about a virtual machines, you need not to worry about a platform. Managing application, nothing but managing the platform, guys. Okay, you need not to worry about a platform, you can directly go for the development. Okay, this is what the cloud platforms are doing a best thing for us. Okay, because they are taking care of a lot of burden from us. If you go to the virtual machine based, an entire virtual machine will be provided to you. When they have given a virtual machine to you, all the configuration will be given to you, guys. If you need this much of, if you need 500 GB, 1 TB, 10 TB, 100 TB of storage, networking properties, as well as the RAM, if you need to have a lot of CPU, you can select it. Okay, so a highly robust virtual machine, you can select it. If you go to your laptop is a small machine which will be having only small configuration. But if you wanted to have a very heavy machine with a large properties, you can select it. Okay, that properties will be, that management of the virtual physical infrastructure will be taken care by the cloud platform. How, sir? We already seeing some data centers, right? Google have its Google data center, Amazon having its Amazon, and that's where they are managing the physical infrastructure. And managing the virtual machine, managing the application, and developing an application will be on you when you go to the VM based services. If you go to the managed services, physical infrastructure as well as managing the virtual machine will be taken care by them. Only the application and its development will be upon you. Okay, and if you go to the serverless, only the development part you are talking about, because we will see in our upcoming classes what is a fully managed, what is a serverless. So if you go to the VM managed, you can look at the compute engines. Okay, compute engines are there, Kubernetes engines are there, GCA, GKE. So these are all comes under VM based services, guys. If you look at the managed services, we are every day looking at managed or fully managed. You can see that. So managed services are like um, managed services, data proc you can think of. Very good example, data proc, managed services. And for the serverless, BigQuery is the best example. Dataflow is a one more example. So you need to categorize the services in such a way that it will be very helpful for you to understand it. Because in a company, if a client asks you whether what kind of because we are looking for a serverless platform, you should be in a position to understand what is a serverless platform. If they are looking for a semi-serverless platform or a managed services, you should be in a position, because serverless platforms provide you a lot of benefit when you talk about a cost. Okay, when you talk about a managed services, the cost will be okay, and you have to manage some amount of things like managing the application. So there is some burden on you managing the application. So you have to take care. Your team has to take care about managing the application. But when you go to the serverless, your team need not to worry about application management, because you can directly go for the development. All other things like physical infrastructure, managing the virtual machine, managing the application will be taken care by the cloud platform itself. If I talk about a GCP, the same thing. Okay, we have a cloud platforms. When I say a cloud platform, we have a GCP is there, we have AWS is there, we have Azure is there. It is common for all of these things, sir. It is not only this concept is similar, this concept is same for all of it. Is in general concept. Okay, now you got it. What is a VM based, what is a managed, what is a serverless. Now, if I go to Google Cloud Storage, it is managed or fully managed. Fully managed is also called as a serverless, sir, sometimes. Okay. If you go to the Google Cloud Storage is a fully managed service. Okay, what is that, sir? It is a fully managed service. What does that mean? It is all the infrastructure required for the, okay, all the, you can also say it is actually a managed service or fully managed. Actually, I can't. This one. Okay, so a managed service. When I say a managed service, all the infrastructure, physical infrastructure, as well as the virtual machines will be taken care by the GCP. Okay, what are the rest, guys? You have to create your own application. Okay, when I say application, how the Google Cloud Storage operates, you have to understand. Then only you will be able to understand the what is meant by fully managed service. Because I know that Google Cloud Storage is operates with help of the bucket and files. You have to, when I say a fully managed service, all the physical infrastructure and virtual machine will be taken care by the GCP, and bucket configuration you have to provide. What is meant by that? You have to provide the bucket configuration. When you provide the bucket configuration, a bucket will be created for you. Okay, and after that you can upload files, you can go for the development. When I say development for the GCP is creating a file or uploading a file, uploading a lot of files, creating many buckets, so like that. Okay, what is meant by fully managed? All the resources as well as infrastructure will be taken care by the GCP itself. So for that point, I have explained all the things, guys, because this terminology will come all the time. So that's the reason I have told, I have explained here. Now, sir, it is now I understand that it is a fully managed services. So the infrastructure will be taken care by the GCP. That is fine. So now tell me what kind of a service that the Google Cloud Storage is. what is the main intention of having a Google Cloud Storage in the GCP? So if you ask me, it is a service for storing and retrieving the data. Okay, so what kind of a service it is, sir? If you ask me, it is a service for storing and retrieving the data. Sir, what kind of a data I can store here? Sir, what format data I can store here? Sir, how many files I can store here? Okay, sir, how much amount of data I can store here? Okay, so sir, it is a fully managed service. It is a service, I would say. It is instead of that, a service for storing and retrieving the data. So when I say talking about storing and retrieving the data, how much data I can store, any amount of data, any number of files, any format data, any kind of a data, we can able to store in the GCS, guys. Okay. So this is what is the main intention. What is the purpose of a Google Cloud Storage? If you ask me, it is a storage and retrieving tool. You can store any amount of data, any number of files, and if you wanted and need to have if you wanted to have the data to be retrieved at some point of time, you can also retrieve this data. Okay. So this is what it is. And one more thing. So how the Google Cloud Storage operates? Okay, sir, it is a fully managed, that is fine, and the purpose of the service is also fine, but how it operates? Okay, how it operates? Sir, it operates via bucket and files. Okay, it operates via bucket and files. Sir, some people does not know what is a bucket. I want you to understand this terminology now. Okay, sir, what is a bucket? Sir, a bucket is a container. The terminology is this one, sir. Bucket is nothing but a container, or some, if you does not know what is a container also, you can think of your folder. Okay, a container is not, a bucket is nothing but a container, and terminology for the object is nothing but a file of any format. Okay, so this is what is the terminology, sir. Now you will understand. So in a Google Cloud Storage, we are storing something and we are retrieving the something. So how the Google Cloud Storage operates? Sir, in a Google Cloud Storage, it operates via bucket and objects. I should mention here objects, not files, because the terminology is an object. Okay, it operates via bucket and objects. Okay, what is a bucket? A container or a folder. What is an object? A file of any format. So what does that mean, sir? If it is operating via bucket and object, do I have to create a bucket to store the objects? Yes. So you have to create, we have to create to store the objects. Okay, we have to create a bucket. To create a bucket. So any number of buckets you can create it. Any number of files you can upload it to one bucket. So this is what is it. This is how the Google Cloud Storage operates, guys. Okay, how the Google Cloud Storage operates, sir? A Google Cloud Storage operates via bucket and objects. So in a terminology, what is a bucket, sir? A bucket is nothing but a container, and a object is a file of any format. And we have to create, if I wanted to store some data, what I have to do, sir? If I wanted to store some data inside a Google Cloud Storage, what I have to do? I have to go to the Google Cloud Storage and try to create a bucket, and inside that I can upload the objects. What do you mean by objects, sir? It is nothing but a data, nothing but a file, right? So this is what is, it is how operates, sir. So far, everything seems good. The fourth point I want you to understand that it allows, Google Cloud Storage allows worldwide storage and retrieval. Okay, that means, what does that mean, sir? I do not know. One more basic concept it is coming, sir. You have to understand there is a concept of region, multi-region, multi-region, and one more thing is a region, multi-region, dual region. Okay, so this is what, if it is allowing a worldwide storage and retrieval, what does that mean, sir? At any location you can able to store the data, at any from any other location you will be able to retrieve the data, but you have to select a proper region and multi-region and dual region. According to that, if you wanted to store and retrieve the data within the region, you can go for the within the region option. And if you go to the multi-region, the data will be retrieved across all the regions. And dual region means within two regions. Okay, we will see this difference. Okay, this is actually takes some time, so we will see this difference tomorrow. Okay, what is the main intention of having a regional service, regional storage and multi-regional storage and dual region storage? Because there is a difference between them, and there is an advantage also there, and there is a cost in terms of a cost also. You can look at it, guys. If I go to the region, the cost will be little lesser. When I say dual region, the cost will be little higher. If I go to a multi-region, the cost will be little more higher. And we will see that tomorrow, the main difference, why it is. So that is one thing that we will see tomorrow, guys. The fifth point is, as I told you, scalable and secured platform. What does that service, sir? It is a one more final point, sir. It is a scalable and secured platform. So we will see what is meant by secured platform. And I just want you to give you an overall heads up to the Google Cloud Storage. Now you got it. What is a Google Cloud Storage? The only thing you have to understand today is that what is a Google Cloud Storage, and what is the main purpose of having it, who will be taking care of the resources here, and how it operates, how the Google Cloud Storage operates, and what kind of a tool it is, whether it is a storage, worldwide storage or a retrieval service, and whether can we go for a secured, whether it is a secured platform and scalable platform or not. This is the only point you have to understand, guys. Tomorrow we will see how to create a bucket. Inside that, all these things, like when I say secured platform, right? So we can able to say access control, and very basic concepts we are going to see tomorrow. Object versioning. What is mean by all of this terminology? We will see retention policy. Okay. Okay. And one more thing is also there, storage classes. Okay, we can also go for the storage classes. While you are creating a bucket, there is also a storage classes. So tomorrow we will see all of these things, sir. Whenever you wanted to create a bucket, so you can select a proper bucket name and the location where you wanted to. So when you wanted to create a bucket, you have to give a proper name to the bucket. Okay, you have to give a proper name to the bucket, and you have to select the location of the bucket, and you have to select the proper storage class for the bucket, and we have to select the access control, and we have to select the object versioning and retention policy. Retention policy. Okay, tomorrow we will see, in while we are creating a bucket, all of these concepts we will see, because these are the practical concepts. Okay, so what are these, how we have to give a proper name to the bucket, because it is not directly, sir, I can give any name. Okay, it is not like that. It has to be a globally unique name. how to select a location. When I say select a location, we know that we have a region option is there, we have a dual region option is there, we have a multi-region option is also there. And storage classes, there are 4 storage classes like standard, nearline, cold line, and archive. Access control also we have 2 options. Access control iterate bucket level, access control iterate object level is also there. So we have to see all of these things while we are creating a bucket. Okay. Today, hope you got some idea about a Google Cloud Storage as well as the different varieties of the services in the cloud platforms. Okay. Yeah. Any questions so far on the Google Cloud platform, guys?
If we created a storage in a region type, after that we can change to multi-region or dual region after uploading the files in region.
No, that's one. So there are few properties that you can change it. There are few properties once the bucket is created, you cannot change it. Okay. So that is, I have actually properly documented that. Tomorrow, I think we will see. Okay. What is a bucket and how to create a bucket. So bucket configuration. See, when you look at the bucket configuration here the location, you see for the location, this is we have selected a US West one and it is not editable. Okay. So when you create a bucket, you cannot, once you have selected a proper location to that bucket, you cannot later edit it. If you wanted to edit it, you just have to delete your entire bucket and you have to create your bucket with that particular location. Okay. That location is a region, multi-region, dual region as per your question, right? But there are few things as you selected a storage class standard as well as access control fine grained. So labels if you wanted to add. So these are the editable properties. Okay. So this is a metadata of the bucket. There will be a metadata for the object will also be there, guys. There are 2 things, metadata about object, metadata about bucket. So in a metadata about bucket, you will be able to understand which properties can be changeable even after the bucket is created and which properties cannot be able to change later after the creation of the bucket. Okay. So as we're talking about, once a location is selected, location type region is selected, you cannot change it later. Hope I have answered your question.
Yeah.
Sir, one question.
Yeah.
So in terms of, suppose we create a bucket and we have it in one region, and suppose we don't want to delete that bucket, we just want to replicate that bucket and keep a duplicate of that, and with added functionality in terms of adding location as well. So can we do that?
Yes. So this is for, it's a one scenario that what you wanted to do is like you have 2 buckets, right? It's 2 buckets, right? It's not only 1 bucket, right? So as I told you, because I'll tell you why I said 2 buckets, because when you wanted to create a bucket, the name of the bucket is globally unique name. Okay, you cannot give a same name to the 2 buckets. First thing. Okay, so when you give it 2 names, that means they are two buckets, right? So what do you wanted to do is like whenever I upload a one file to one bucket, you wanted to have that same file in one more bucket also, because you wanted to copy the data. So that kind of scenarios that we can see in our upcoming topics, because I have such kind of scenarios we can easily have with help of the cloud functions. I will create a one cloud function code. That cloud function code will be doing is like it is a serverless platform. In the backend, what it will do, it will try to copy whatever the data that you are uploading to the one bucket, and it will copy it to the one more bucket, so that whenever you do that activity, it will be backend, it will be doing this activity as well, so that there is a copy of your data. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, this can be done. Yes, we will be having such kind of scenarios, plenty of practical scenarios we are seeing. And I want you to, if you are coming across such kind of scenarios in your company also, you tell me, we will implement that solution. Okay, so that we will do, guys. Okay, I just don't want you to tell you a course and stop it here. I just want you to, if you guys have such kind of a scenario, sir, I am facing this kind of a problem, so can we implement such kind of a solution? or can we at least see an architecture for this solution? So that kind of scenarios we will see if you are coming across. So please let me know. That's not a problem. And someone is asking a question, can you teach how to create a bucket via SDK? Sir, yes, we will create a bucket with the help of the Cloud Shell. Yes, of course. So I will tell you how to create a bucket two ways, sir. You can also see here. So because each and every, I want you to understand this point. I think I might not have told you this point. So let me tell you this point. Where is this? Yeah. So, sir, very important thing. I will write it here. There are two ways. There are more ways, but mainly two ways for me. Two ways to interact with GCP services. There are actually two ways for me. Okay, I don't know how people say, but for me, in my classes, I will tell there are two ways if you wanted to interact with the GCP services. One is UI, one more is code. Okay, one UI is nothing but a console. Code is nothing but a Cloud Shell or Cloud SDK. Okay, or SDK, Cloud SDK. Okay, this is what. In UI, we know that how we are interacting with the help of the user interface, nothing but a drag and drop, clicking something. That is what is a UI. If you wanted to interact with the services, if you wanted to use any service in the GCP, you can go with this way. Okay, this is a manual process. Sir, I wanted to create a bucket, or I wanted to delete something, or I wanted to interact with the Google Cloud Storage. You can also interact from the code, that is Cloud Shell or Cloud SDK, from anywhere. So these things also we will be seeing, guys. It is not that we are also looking, because I wanted to understand the concepts via UI, but tomorrow I wanted to automate it with the help of the code, because we are not just stopping here, because there are professionals who are automating the processes. Automating can only be done with help of the code. So there are two ways to interact with the GCP services. Keep this in mind, sir. Whenever you are getting any doubt, anything can be done with help of the UI, anything can be done with the help of the code. Okay, creating a bucket. Tomorrow, if I wanted to create a bucket, yeah, sorry.
Through code, we can use REST API also.
Yeah, through REST APIs also we can use it, but most of the people using these things. So even I am covering these two only. That is the reason I have mentioned REST API is also there, and there is also one more thing is also there, mobile application also. But most of the times we will be using this thing only. Even in the companies also, people use UI as well as Cloud SDK or Cloud Shell. Yeah. Okay. And one more question: any Terraform Ansible tools required for automation? Sir, no. Any Terraform and Ansible tools required for automation? No, sir. Our main intention is to have a data to be created and automated with the help of the pipeline. So that is what we are going to do. That is SQL plus Python is enough for this course. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
In real time, we will be creating the bucket, or admin team, they will create the bucket and hand over to us.
No. So there are two ways. So if you go to, there are two, it depends upon your company, guys. If you go to the MNC companies, you will be having a dedicated team for the admin. So they will be doing the admin activities. Admin, I would not say admin. So there are two, admin, or you can also DevOps. Okay. They will be taking care of the resources, infra related things. They are taking care of it. Okay. But if you go to the tier 2 companies, tier 3 companies, what they do is like something like startups or some low base, I mean, not product, some basic product based companies are, you know, if you go to small scale companies, what small scale? Okay, what they do is like they will provide an entire, because it is a small startup company and you have to do everything on your own. In that case, you will be getting a chance to work on the UI, you will be getting a chance to creating a bucket, anything. You yourself have to work with the admin activities as well. That means IAM, all of those things, and permissions, roles. You yourself have to create a bucket. But when you are going to the MNC companies, Most of the times they will not providing you access to do that. But there is an environment called sandbox. In that sandbox, you can do anything. But if you look at the prod environment, they will not provide you no access at all. Okay, if you wanted to practice anything, you can go and do it in the sandbox. But in the startup, you will be providing an access to all of the things. You can able to work with that. So this is what it is. Okay, yeah. You will a team BigQuery with loading files with the real-time scenarios. Yes, guys, I will teach. It's not team, right? You will teach. Yes. So you will teach BigQuery with loading files with the real-time scenarios. Don't worry about that. We will be having a plenty of such scenarios. Data proc, data flow, everywhere we are using the BigQuery. And I will take some CSV files. I'll upload it to the. I'll upload them as a. I will upload it to. Sorry, I will create a tables on top of those CSV files. And one more thing also, what we will do is like we will automate that process. Okay, as I told you, I don't want it to manually do it tomorrow. Okay, if a file CSV file available in the GCS bucket, what I wanted to do, sir, automatically it has to create a table inside the BigQuery. Okay, that automatic scenarios we will see. Don't worry about that, sir. Plenty of automations, plenty of scenarios, topics, real-time things we are going to see in our thing, guys. Don't worry about that. Yeah, just to focus on the knowledge, you will be able to get a lot of you know, real-time scenarios from me. The only thing is like, please be attentive during the class. Yeah, yeah. Now, so this is enough for today. What I will do is like I will try to tell you how to create an account. So we will see tomorrow rest of the concepts. Okay. Now let us see how to create a bucket. Sorry, it's already 8:20, guys. Okay. So let me. Can we see it tomorrow or shall we see it today itself? Sir, I would tell you. Some people are
Yeah, we
asking
can
for
do it
the.
today.
Yeah. Some people are asking for the slides and some people are asking. So slides I may not be sharing with you, but what I will do is like I will share you the material. Okay, what is that material? It is a very robust, and you see the material for the Google Cloud Storage tomorrow. Today we have seen, right? What is the Google Cloud Storage? This is access to my notes I will give you, sir. What is a GCS? How to create a bucket? All the concepts, high level concepts. And note, oh, here I have mentioned, sir, whenever you use any service in the Google Cloud platform. Okay, this is one more thing, two costs associated. One is storage cost, retrieval cost. Tomorrow we will see this point. Okay, so these notes I will provide it to you guys. Okay, I will provide access to the my notebook. This is my OneNote notebook. We will be having all of these things here only. So I will provide access to that. And so that for that one, I want everyone to complete your registrations. Then only there will be a group created. There I will provide the link for that so that you will be able to access it. And access also not provided to all, guys, only for those who have registered. And if I got an email from the team, I will provide access to that particular email. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So please complete your registration tomorrow. So please remember, make me remember, sir. Tomorrow, first thing we will create a bucket. We will create an account. Okay. Later only we will see the rest of the things. Yeah. Because it's already 8:20. Even I am having some other tasks. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you all. Hope you learned something today. So I want you to learn everything, almost everything, every day, whatever we are speaking. If you are unable to understand, please try to ask me. So that wouldn't be a problem. You can raise a question. You can raise anything. If you wanted to see a real-time things also, you can do. Okay. Complete your registration to get the notes, guys. Okay. Thank you all. Hope you learned something today. Thank you all. Hello everyone. Welcome to the session today. Yes. Hello everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the session today. Hope you guys are doing good. So let me just recapitulate what we have discussed in the Google Cloud Storage, and we will see the next topic. Okay. So if you remember, if you can see my screen, I have shared my screen, guys. Hope you guys all can see my screen clearly. Okay. So we now know that what is a Google Cloud Storage. Google Cloud Storage is one of the data lake available in the GCP. And what we can do here, sir, what is this actually? It is an elastic object storage service. Elastic means it is the elastic name suggests that it is a scalability. Okay. So any amount of data you can store, that is what is meant by elastic. A service for storing your objects in the Google Cloud. Object is an immutable piece of data consisting of any file of any format. Okay. What is meant by object, sir? Object is nothing but an immutable piece of data consisting of any file of any format that you can store it here in the Google Cloud Storage. And you store these objects. You store these objects in the containers. What is meant by a container here? Terminology of container is nothing but a bucket. So you create a bucket. Inside that you keep your objects. Objects are nothing but a piece of data of any file of any format. Okay. And one more thing we have also seen. It's all worldwide storage and retrieval, guys. Okay. So of any data at any time. Okay. And these are the use case scenarios that the Google Cloud Storage is usually used in the companies. So serving website content, for example, if there is a website content is there, it is going to be stored in the Google Cloud Storage, and storing the data for archival and disaster recovery. Distributed data, large data objects used in via direct download. For example, usually Google Cloud Storage, for example, nowadays you might have seen Netflix and all of those things, right? Most of the movies are usually stored in the data lakes only, but Netflix is actually using the Amazon S3 buckets. Yes, Amazon S3 bucket is very similar to the GCS case. So if you wanted to see a similar service, for example, GCP, we have a GCS, Google Cloud Storage as a data lake. Okay, if you go to the AWS, okay, they have three buckets. It is acting as a data lake there. And if you go to Azure, they call it as a blob storage. Blobs. What is mean by blobs? A blob is nothing but again file. The terminology itself it is like that, sir. Okay. Here in the GCP we call it as a object. Here in the Azure they call it as a blob. Blob is nothing but a file of any format. S3 they usually call it as a files only. Okay. So this is how if you go on premises, what is that, sir? HDFS, Hadoop distributed file system. Okay, so this is one thing. So these are all acting as a data lakes in different environments. Okay, earlier we used to use on-premises HDFS is a data lake, but nowadays the cloud platform we are using cloud platforms and GCS S3 buckets blob storage is a data lake. So what are these data lakes? Data lakes are mainly responsible for storing the data and retrieving the data at any time, at any cost, at any amount of data we can store here. So this is what is all about the Google Cloud Storage. And later we have seen how to create a bucket, sir. To create a bucket, we have to provide a global unique name, the location, and storage classes. What about this location, sir? Location has three categories. Either we can go for the region or dual region and multi-region. At any cost, if you don't want it to lose your data, you can go for the multi-region, and the multi-region very low latency, and replication will be available in the largest regions. I mean largest area, you can say. In a dual region, it is also having a replication, a latency also less, but the thing is like only for the replication will be only available in 2 regions. Dual region means only 2 regions. But if you go to the region, there is no replication at all. The data will be only available in one single region. If the failover happens in this region, then there is a data loss will be happening. So this is what about region, dual region, and multi-region. And we have also seen the 4 storage classes. One is standard, nearline, cold line, and archive. Okay. So when we are using the standard for frequently accessing data, and nearline for access once in a month, a cold line once in a quarter, and the archive once in a year. What is the advantage of using the storage classes? In terms of a pricing, you can see here, if you don't select a proper storage class, you are misusing the storage classes. So we select a proper storage class. Standard is for frequently accessed data, so that you can able to, even though the storage cost is higher, but the transaction cost is less. Okay, frequently accessing, and the data will be highly available. Okay, so we will be getting some discount here. Like that for the archive, for accessing the data once in a quarter, the transaction cost is very high, but the storage cost is very less. Again, you get an advantage of storage cost here. So that is how we have to select a proper storage class. Okay, and the storage class is a editable option. Even though once you have created a bucket, you can even change it later as well. So that is also we have seen. Okay, so when we talk about all the features of the Google Cloud Storage, we have all of these things, guys. Regional buckets, object to change notification. If you wanted to go like, we can have a ACLS, object versioning is there, online import, offline import, object lifecycle management. So these are all the features of a GCS. Once you create a bucket, this is a metadata of the bucket, guys. We have seen this already. Okay, once you create an object, this is a metadata of an object. So when you upload this example, here you see a size, you see a type, you create a time, you see a storage class, and all of these things. Okay, so you can also edit the metadata, edit the permissions if you wanted to do. Okay, and you can see here objects. Object is an individual piece of data in the form of a file. No limit on the number of objects that you create in a bucket. Okay, this is some question yesterday some people have asked me, right? So there is no limit on number of objects that you can create in a bucket. Objects have no hierarchical relationship. One object to the another object, there is no hierarchical relationships, sir. Okay, and objects can have a different versions as well with the help of the object versioning. Every object has associated storage class, right? This will be inherited from the bucket. So for example, you create that bucket is having a standard storage class. You keep a file, that file will also be having the same storage class. So this is how it is. Versioning needs to be enabled to maintain the old versions. Okay. Yep. And this is a object metadata. There are fixed keys, there are custom keys. What does that mean, sir? You see here, storage class, content type. These are something are like fixed data, and you cannot be edited. And there is some information which can be edited. And object lifecycle management. What? Yesterday I have told you, object lifecycle management is something like you can create some kind of a rule, such as like, for example, so far you are using a bucket for the standard, but after 30 days you wanted to be make it as a nearline, so that you will get some benefit of the cost. So for that reason, you can create a rule automatically. Backend it will be happening once the 30 days is happening. That particular bucket will be converted from the standard to the nearline or cold line, whatever it is. So such kind of actions, if you have, you can go for the object lifecycle management, guys. Okay. And if you wanted to delete a bucket after some days, you can also do that. Such kind of a rules also you can able to do it. Okay, you can see here, you delete an object 30 days or something like that, after 40 days, after 60 days. So such kind of a, this is your action, but when it is the condition, based on the condition, it will be, the action will be done. Okay, this is one thing. And working with the Google Cloud Storage, as I told you, most of the times console as well as this is our GSP. This is a serializer, one line tool, nothing but a shell. Okay, and people also can be used work with the client libraries to interact with the Google Cloud Storage. Okay, and REST API also we can able to use to work with the, to interact with the Google Cloud Storage. Okay, so these are the options that we have. We have